What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review. And today we're taking a look at the brand new Filix Toys The Clown, aka third party Heath Ledger Joker from The Dark Knight. I'm very excited about this figure because I was a huge fan of the ink blot figure that Filix Toys did last year. That was hands down one of the best figures that came out last year. And honestly, it's become one of my favorite figures out of my entire collection. I absolutely love that figure. And I'm a big fan of Heath Ledger's Joker. So, I really hope this guy comes out just nearly as good as Inkblot, because that would make me very happy. At this point, there's not a really good 1/12 scale Heath Ledger Joker. So yeah, this is exciting. But let's go ahead and get right into it, starting off with the packaging. As you can see, we do have some cool looking artwork right here with like these playing cards on the front of the box. Up here, it does say clown, kind of, but it's kind of like distorted and messed up and hard to read. Down here, it looks like the box has been ripped, and then we see ha 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 behind that. So that's pretty awesome. And then on the back, we get a look at Gotham City, and then you could see the Joker's face right there. And aside from that, that's about it for the packaging. There's not really a whole lot going on. It's pretty simple, small, and compact. And I like this quite a bit. So yeah, good stuff. But enough about the little box. Let's go ahead and get Joker out and take a look. Alrighty, so here we have him right out of the box. And goddamn, I cannot believe how good these Filix Toys figures are. Joker is just as good as Inkblot. I think they did an incredible job on this guy. And it's just so impressive how well they tailor the soft goods onto these bodies. Like with Joker, there's so many layers and stuff like that, but none of the material is too thick. None of it looks awkward. It all fits very naturally onto the body and looks realistic and not awkward, which is really hard to do in 1/12 scale. A lot of times companies struggle with making soft goods look realistic on figures at this size. But I would say that Filix Toys and Nada Toys are the two best at like making soft goods look realistic and natural and nice on 1/12 scale figures. I think they're like neck and neck, those two companies, in regards to like who does it the best. It's between those two. But man, this Joker is so impressive. I love what they did here. There's like some Velcro pieces in here, but the way they did it, like check this out. It's kind of hard to explain, but like on the vest, they have this big piece of Velcro on the inside so you could remove the vest, but it's really thin. So when you have it all put together, it doesn't pop out or look unnatural. It looks really, really nice. And just look at this thing, man. The material they used feels super high quality, and this thing is just a beast. I am so impressed with the way this guy turned out. Right out of the box, it was like, what the hell? How is this so good? Just everything about it is like pretty much perfect. And I like how they have the tie kind of like disheveled. It's kind of fixed in a way to where like it looks like it's popping out a little bit. Like you aren't able to pull it down, but that's very fitting for the Joker. He's supposed to look a little messy and disheveled. So yeah, that's really cool. That's a nice little detail. But man, look at this. And all these layers of clothing are removable. In fact, I was impressed by how easy it was to get the jacket off. You could get the jacket and then this inner vest or this inner jacket thing off really easily. Like you don't even have to take off the hands. It'll make it easier if you do, but it's not necessary. You could remove them with no problem at all. And then, you have the other look for the Joker. Look at that, man. That is crazy. And they did an amazing job on the pattern on his shirt too. That looks really good. And you got the gold chain hanging. Look at that, man. And then this back here, it's all shiny and nice looking. This dude's clothing is nicer than any clothing that I own. Look at this, man. So good and so easy to take off. And once you put the jacket back on, you do kind of have to adjust things to make it so his arms could move forward again. But it's really not that difficult. So yeah, they did a great job with that. But man, like I said, I'm just so impressed with this figure. But let's go ahead and get in close and take a look at all the details on him. And Filix Toys did a really nice job with the details on Joker. Starting off at the head, I think this is a very accurate looking head sculpt. It definitely captures the likeness of Heath Ledger's Joker. And it's extremely well done. Look at that. From certain angles, it's perfection. Like, to me, that looks perfect. You can't get any better than that. And we have some really nice detail in here. I like how the lips and like the scars kind of have like a wet kind of texture and look to them. Looks really creepy. And the eyes kind of have a watery look as well, but it's kind of hard to see the eyes within all the black paint there, but I think that's awesome. Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that, man. That is beautiful, beautiful stuff. The paint looks really good on the face. It looks like, you know, he actually painted his face because it's a little inconsistent in certain areas. Like on the forehead, you could see a little bit of his skin underneath it. And that is just perfect, man. That looks so good. Yeah, this is a great head sculpt. They absolutely killed it here. And then for the hair, you could see we have some green with different colors in there, you know, some darker colors mixed in with the green. That looks really nice. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this head sculpt. In my opinion, it's pretty damn accurate and I love it. Then moving down into the body, look how well put together all the soft goods are. All these layers, man, and it just fits onto the figure so nicely. You can see that we have some buttons right here on the vest. And these look good. Man, these buttons are really nice. Like, especially these ones. You can see the holes in them. It's not just like a little, you know, circle piece of plastic thrown on there made to look like a button. These actually have holes in them like buttons would, you know? So that's really cool. And we have some pockets in here. Look at all the stitching, how clean that is. Man. And then the tie coming out from the top. And you're not able to push the tie down or pull it down so it's, you know, so it goes down. I think they wanted it to look kind of messed up like that. So that's awesome. And then the vest is held together with some Velcro. You could just take that apart if you want to remove the vest for whatever reason. And I love the way that the Velcro is just really small and you could put it back together and it doesn't even look like something that's Velcro together. So that is dope. And look at the inside of the jacket. Look at that, man. So nice. Then we have some more buttons on the jacket here. And I like what they did here with this piece. I don't think it's called the collar. Whatever this area of the jacket is called, it's kind of secured down with some magnets. So you don't have to worry about it kind of like flaring up and looking weird. It's secured down to his, you know, this area with those magnets. So that is super cool too. And moving down to the pants, as you can see, he does have actual pockets so you could stick his hands in there. So that's nice. And then we have the gold chain. That is really cool. And he does have socks too. His ankles are really weird though. It's like I don't know, there's like this independent joint that goes into the foot here. And then that whole thing just kind of sticks into the lower leg. But it's like, I don't know, it's kind of a weird design. It's not just like a straight up ball joint. I don't know what it is. It's kind of hard to tell because of the socks. See if I can get his pants up so we can check out his socks. Look at that. And these are actual cloth. And the shoes are very well sculpted. And we have some nice paintwork in there. You can see the laces are a different color than the rest of the shoe. That's nice. Look at that. Yeah, man, the amount of detail on this guy is just so impressive. And the jacket's really nice too. I'm not 100% sure what type of material this is, but I think it looks perfect. Looks really, really nice. Look at the clean stitching on there. Everything just looks really good. It's very durable. When I'm posing around the figure, I don't worry about any of this getting damaged or anything. You know, if you're handling it carefully anyways, within reason. But yeah, man, this is such a beautiful figure. Filix Toys really did some incredible work on the details with the sculpt, the soft goods, just everything looks freaking immaculate, I guess you could say. It's just really impressive how clean and nice everything looks on this figure. And then for accessories, the Joker does come with a lot of really great stuff, including multiple sets of hands. So first off, we have a pair of fists. We have a set of open hands. We have a set of gun gripping hands. And then we have a set of generic gripping hands. It could be used to hold on to whatever you need them to grab onto. And then he does have a set of like tighter, kind of awkward looking gripping hands. These could be used to hold on to his cards. And these could also be used to hold on to his knives. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any tight gripping hands that get a good grip onto the knives, but you can make it work with these hands. And then he does have one set of open hands that do not have gloves on them, and these could go on him when you remove the jacket and you could complete that look. So I like that they included those. And then as far as weapons go, he does come with a bunch of really cool stuff, including 4 different guns. So here's the first one here. This is some type of machine gun. You'll have to forgive me. I'm not much of a gun guy, so I don't know the exact names of all of these. But I do remember when he used this in the movie when he was facing off against Batman in the middle of the street, I believe. Man, looking at all these weapons and playing around with this figure really makes me want to go watch The Dark Knight. It's been way too long. But yeah, this weapon is awesome. Very well sculpted. Not a whole lot of paint, but definitely enough for what is required. And yeah, it looks good. He's able to hold it, and he looks badass. And then he does come with this one. I do remember this from the film as well. It's got that really long magazine. And I thought this like had some inscriptions or something on it, but it's kind of hard to read. I don't know what exactly is going on there. But yeah, I'm happy he came with this because I remember that one from the movie too. And then next up, he has this little guy, this little revolver with the short barrel. This is awesome. This might be my favorite gun out of all of them. I just like the way he looks holding on to it. It's perfect with the whole vibe of the Joker. And then he does have a shotgun too. And all of these weapons fit into his hands with no problem at all because the hands are pretty soft, you know. But they are sturdy enough to hold on to all of the guns. So it's nice to not have to hassle with trying to force the guns in there and like stretching the hands at all. You know, all of the guns go right into the hands with no issues at all. And then he does come with two different types of knives. Here's the first one here. You can see that we have a butterfly knife. This looks really good, very well sculpted, some nice detail on the handle, and that's awesome. And then he does come with a switchblade. This looks really nice too. As you can see, the blade has a metallic kind of look. And yeah, it looks awesome. And I love that he came with both of these types of knives. I think that's very cool. And then he does come with his remote control detonator. And I love that they included this. And I think it looks really good. I like how it has this little ring right here. Kind of gives it that homemade type of feel, you know. So that is awesome. And just in case he doesn't want to shoot someone or stab someone or blow them up, he has a nightstick with which he could beat somebody with if he needs to. And one of the coolest accessories that he comes with are these grenades that you're able to stick into the inside of the jacket. And then as you can see, there's the string that goes to the hand and then it loops onto the thumb. But yeah, this is awesome. This way you could recreate that scene when he meets the crime lords. And yeah, look at that. And I love the way they did it too. So as you can see, we have the grenades strapped onto this little like plate type of thing. And it's just a piece of Velcro that Velcros onto the inside of the jacket. And the Velcro, just like on the vest, is very thin, so it doesn't like mess up the look of the jacket whatsoever when it's not there. This is one thing I was really concerned with. I wasn't sure how they were going to handle this. I saw this in the promo images and I just kind of thought like, man, that's a lot going on the inside of the jacket. So I love that they made it removable with this whole Velcro situation, you know. I think that is like the perfect way to do it, and it's a really cool accessory to include with Joker. And then he does come with one interchangeable foot, and as you can see, this foot has a blade coming out of the toe, and that is crazy. And it's an actual piece of metal. It's not plastic, so you don't have to worry about it breaking or anything. And man, that's that's an insane little detail to throw in there. Man, that's an awesome accessory. And then he does come with some paper cards, and these are cool and everything, but I don't think I'm going to punch them out. I'll just lose these, but I think it's cool that they included them. And then he does come with two different head sculpts. This is the first one. We've already looked at it. I think it looks awesome. And then for the alternate head, we have a smiling face. And I think this is very well done in terms of detail and sculpting and paint, but I don't think the likeness is quite there. I don't think it looks as good as the previous head sculpt, but they did do some great work with the sculpting. Like, it looks realistic. The teeth look good. The eyes look good. The paint looks good. All that is very well done. I just don't think the likeness to the character is perfect. But, you know, it's not like it's way off. It's not like it's horrible. I just don't think it's as good as the previous head sculpt. I think this one is a lot better. And now for some size comparisons. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of figures from the Christopher Nolan Batman movie universe because honestly, I don't think that anyone has really given us a good line of figures based on that version of Batman and all those characters. Mattel was doing it back in the day, and even for their time, I don't think they were good figures. Soap Studios has done a couple of figures from the Christopher Nolan universe, but I haven't really been impressed by them. Mafex probably has the best line based on that whole world, and even those figures aren't that great. So yeah, no one has really come through and given us a strong line based on the Christopher Nolan Batman stuff. Hopefully one day though. But anyways, I do have the Mafex Joker right here, so hopefully this gives you a good idea of how this Filix Joker would fit in with the Mafex stuff. To me, it looks like he's almost the same size, so I think it would probably work. On the other side, we have the Beast Kingdom Dynamic Action Heroes Joker, and obviously you know, that's a completely different scale. But I do like those Joker figures by Beast Kingdom. I think they're doing a pretty good job with it. I was a big fan of this one. He came out awesome. But he's nowhere near as good as this Filix Toys Joker. This thing is definitely in a class of its own in regards to how he compares to other Dark Knight Joker figures. And then next up, we have him alongside some of my favorite third-party figures. On the left, we have the Filix Toys Ink Blot, aka Rorschach from Watchmen. On the opposite side, we have the Bullet Head Vigilante, I believe that figure was called. And obviously, that's V from V for Vendetta. So yeah, I just love that these two figures exist and that they were done at such a high level. These third-party companies are straight killing it with this type of stuff. And then next up, here he is alongside the Mezco 112 Collective Supreme Knight Batman, I think that one is called. And then on the opposite side, we have the Mezco 112 Collective Deluxe Joker. And then here he is alongside the Mafex Hush Joker and the Mafex Hush Batman. And of course, we have to get him next to the Marvel Legends Bucky Cap and Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man. And then next up, we have Joker alongside the Nada Toys James figures. And I wanted to show them alongside him because, in my opinion, Nada Toys and Filix Toys are giving us the best soft goods that we've ever seen in 1/12 scale. And honestly, I don't even think it's close. I can't think of another company that comes anywhere near the type of stuff that we see with these two companies. Like, they have just been killing it. Everything that I've gotten from either Nada Toys or Filix Toys has been like top notch and unparalleled compared to something that, you know, something I would say, like, you know, not to bash any other company, but, you know, Mezco does a great job with soft goods. And, you know, all the time that I collected Mezco figures, I was always like, man, this is like really, really good. But then once I got one of these like third-party figures, it was like, damn, I didn't realize how off Mezco kind of was with the soft goods until I got these types of things and I saw how well everything was tailored. Not to knock Mezco, they do a great job with it, but I really think that these Nada Toys and Filix Toys are definitely in a class of their own when it comes to soft goods in 1/12 scale. And then as for the articulation, I'm going to go ahead and show that off with the jacket removed, because when you have the jacket on, it definitely restricts some of the articulation, mostly with the arms, but aside from that, everything else is the same. But yeah, as far as the articulation goes, the bodies that they use are really good and they do have a really nice amount of articulation, but obviously they are going to be a little bit hindered because of all the soft goods. So you're not going to get the full potential of the bodies underneath. But for a figure like that, you know, I'm perfectly okay with it. Someone like Joker or Rorschach, you know, I don't need a crazy amount of articulation. I just need enough to get them in poses that I would want for those specific characters. And I think that these bodies are capable of that. So I'm happy with what we have going on. But let's go ahead and take a look starting off at the head. So the head and the neck is one piece. So we only have movement at the lower neck. So he is able to look side to side, get a little bit of tilt, but not a whole lot. He could look up to about right there. And then it could look down to about right there. So not a whole lot of movement at the head. I like that he could look down to right there, though. That's good. And then, you know, side to side. And you could tilt a little bit to get some attitude out of it. So that's cool. And then for the torso, what do we have going on here? I believe there's a diaphragm cut in there. And then a ball joint at the waist. Oh, look at that. Damn, look, I wasn't expecting it to bend that much. That's pretty good. But I'm afraid to push it any further than that because I don't want to mess up the clothing. But I'm still pretty impressed by how much movement you get out of it. Then you get some side to side, and then he could also twist at the waist and a little bit at the diaphragm. So that's pretty cool. And then at the arms, he does have butterfly joints at the shoulders, so that's cool. And then you could bring his arms up to about right there. Damn, you could bring them up a really good amount. Again, I'd be concerned about the soft goods if you push it too much, but that's still pretty impressive. And then he does have upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbow that gets a nice bend. And then at the wrist, we have a ball joint with the hinge that does swivel around, and then you could swivel at the hand. So you got some good stuff going on there. At the legs, you could kick up to about right there, and then the pants kind of stop you. You could go to the side, only to about right there. He does have a upper thigh swivel, but it's pretty tight. He's got double jointed knees. Oh, got caught on the chain there. Boom, double jointed knees. Those get really good bend, so that's cool. And then at the ankle, we have like a like a ball joint or like a double ball joint or something, but you're able to bring it up to right there, bring it up to right there, rock side to side a really nice amount. Damn, that's awesome. And you could also swivel, but you know, he does have his socks on, so you can't swivel all the way around. Otherwise, you'd kind of mess that up. But yeah, I've got to say, you know, the articulation on him is pretty impressive, all things considered. But, you know, I'm not really, maximum articulation isn't really what I'm looking for in a figure like this. So I'm happy with what's there. I'm pretty impressed by some of the joints and some of the range that we get, even with the soft goods. So yeah, I like the articulation, but this is not really a figure that I'm going to be trying to push the articulation and get him into like crazy ass poses or anything like that. As long as you could get him into some like cool walking poses or some like pretty basic fighting poses, then, you know, I'm good. I'm happy with it. So as far as the articulation goes, it's not over the top or anything, but it's perfectly suitable for this character. So I'm happy. Alrighty, so overall, at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, the dust settles, and it's all said and done, it is mind-blowing how awesome this freaking figure is. I cannot believe what a great job Filix Toys is doing with the figures that they've given us so far. This Joker is just as good as Inkblot, and I freaking love that figure. I'd say I'd probably give the slight edge to Inkblot only because, you know, there's not a whole lot of Watchmen figures out there, so it kind of makes it special for that reason. But in terms of like execution of the actual character and just the quality of the figure, they're both neck and neck. So that is saying a lot about this Joker. And yeah, like I said, I just can't believe what a great job they do on these figures. Especially at the scale. It's so perfectly executed. It looks lifelike. The soft goods are amazing, super well tailored to the body. There's a whole lot going on, but they were able to get it all in there and make it look natural. The articulation is okay on this guy. It's definitely enough for the character, so I'm happy with it. The sculpting work on the parts that are actually sculpted are very well done, really detailed with some great paint work. The accessories are freaking crazy. There's all kinds of good stuff. Everything that you would want for the character comes in this box. And yeah, man, just everything about this guy is just so well done. And this is an incredible figure. If I had one criticism, the only negative I could probably say about this thing is that the alternate head sculpt isn't amazing. It's okay, but I just don't really see the Heath Ledger Joker likeness in there. I mean, you know, it's not way off. It's not horrible, but, you know, it's not as good as this head sculpt. But aside from that, everything about this figure is freaking perfect. I have like zero complaints. And yeah, man, Filix Toys, they are on some other shit. They are using some witchcraft or something to make these figures, because so far, the two that I have are just, they're amazing. They're like in a class of their own. So I freaking love this figure. If you're a big fan of Joker or the Dark Knight, Batman, any of that stuff, I definitely suggest jumping on this figure sooner rather than later, because I'm sure it's going to sell out and then it'll be really hard to get. But yeah, man, I love it. I love this figure. And I love their character selection. Joker was perfect for them because of the style. Rorschach was perfect because of the style. And, you know, we don't have a whole lot of Rorschach figures, so that worked out. And yeah, I really hope they continue doing what they're doing. I would love to see them tackle maybe some comic book characters. Like, imagine how insane some Saga figures by Filix Toys would be. That would be freaking amazing. If you don't know what Saga is, fucking step your game up. Go read Saga right away. But anyways, yeah, man, Filix Toys, they are on some other shit, and I just love what they have going on. Quick editor's note, unfortunately, when I was completely done recording my review for the Joker figure, I was messing around with it. I was switching the hands out, and I don't know if I was too rough or what the hell happened, but I ended up snapping one of the pegs on the wrist joint, which really fucking sucks. I thought the joints on him were a little bit more sturdy and stronger than they were on Inkblot. Unfortunately, that's not the case. So be very careful when you're switching his hands out. Don't get careless, because you might snap those pegs. I still love this figure quite a bit. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and order a new one right away before it's too late. And I am going to try to get a replacement for the one that broke. Hopefully 5K Toys can help me out. But, you know, this does really, really suck. It kind of sours the experience a little bit, but, you know, it is what it is. I probably should have been more careful. And like I said, I love the figure so much, so I want to secure one, so I'm going to buy a new one. and that fucking sucks. But, you know, it is what it is. I just wanted to add this in here just to inform you guys to be very careful when you're switching the hands out. And with that, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Also, be sure to hit the bell notification so you know every time that I go live. If you're not aware, I go live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. to talk about toys, every Friday at 7 p.m. just to hang out and talk about toys and whatever comes up, and then every Sunday at 10 a.m. to talk about comics. So come through for all of those lives. It's always a good time. I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you very much. Peace.